There we go.
Okay, we're back here already. I want to tell everybody thank you for coming in. For anybody who is subscribed to us, thank you very much. If you're new here, don't hesitate to go and take a look and hit that little button. Check out some of our videos. I don't know if everybody is all excited about this, but I know I am. I've been looking forward to it for the last couple of days ever since we got it set up. We're going to bring up some people that are also fellow New Yorkers, and they've got a live YouTube channel that has to do with hunting and trapping and shed hunting and all of that kind of stuff. You guys ready to come up? There we go. Okay, this is Clifford and Kaylee, and if you guys want to go ahead and tell everybody what your channel is and what it's all about, and we can go from there, start out from there.
Why does Kaylee look scared?
First off, I want to thank Judy and Ron for having us on here. We've never done anything like this, so this is a first-time experience for both Kaylee and I, but we really appreciate you guys sending us an invite and letting us get on here and talk with you. But we run a channel called KEO Vlogs. If you've never heard of it, it's just a hunting and trapping, and pretty much like Ron said, everything outdoors, really. It's not just hunting or it's not just trapping. I take the video camera with me pretty much everywhere I go. So you really never know what you're going to end up seeing, but we have a lot of fun with it.
I've started watching the videos from right at the beginning when you first came out. I haven't watched you get knocked out while you were wrestling in the Army and all of that kind of stuff. So
yeah, those were the early days. I was just kind of dabbling with videos when I was in the Army. It was actually a buddy of mine that got me into YouTube. We were out in the field. It was an FTX or something, and we were talking. He's like, "Guys, I made like $200 off this video on YouTube," and we're all like laughing at him, like, what are you talking about? And, anyways, he said that he's got a YouTube channel and was posting videos and whatnot, and I got to thinking about it. Well, what do I like to do that I could share with everybody? And I thought, well, when I get out of the Army, I'll be able to videotape hunting and stuff. That's my passion. So I took a camera, and at first, obviously, not many people watched. It was just kind of my buddies that would laugh at me and carry on. And, kind of all at once, it just really took off. And it was like, man, there's a lot more people watching than just my friends and family. So that's kind of how it all started, really.
Because you've been on for about 7 years now, right, with your channel?
Yeah, but I really didn't start posting videos till 2014. I mean, that's when I really...
Yeah, which has been about 7 years. But it's probably really been 5 years since it's really gotten larger.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to say hello to a few people that popped in here real quick. Carl's off the grid. Thank you for coming in, Carl, as always. Addie and Kaysen's Family Adventures, thank you for coming in. Traveling Nate Dog, how you doing today? Retired and loving it. Oh, Panama Beach, Florida. You're afraid of me what's going on here.
It's not fair.
Traveling on. Thank you for coming in. Okay. We may jump in and say hello to some people as they come in as we're going along. And there's your sister just showed up too. So
no problem.
But yeah, so we can start out by what made you decide that you wanted to do a YouTube channel? It was just something that you felt like you wanted to do, or is it?
Yeah, honestly, at first it was just a way for me to share my experiences outside with friends and family, and I just used it as a platform to do that. and that's really how it started. You know, I didn't start a channel with the thought of actually having a YouTube channel. I guess I don't really know how to
Being successful.
exactly. Just kind of took off.
And now you spend a whole lot of time sneaking up and surprising Kaylee so that she turns around and looks, you got the camera on her. And
That happens all too often, let me tell you.
Yeah, she is always, you know, head on a swivel looking for me when I have that camera.
Yeah.
So you divide up your little duties as far as the channel goes. I know that I see Kaylee doing an awful lot of stuff with the merch and with the hats and t-shirts and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so pretty much I do all the editing with the channel, and Kaylee does pretty much everything else when it comes to the merchandise and emails and you know, people contacting us and whatnot. I usually just forward the email right to Kaylee, and I have a lot on the table as it is with the videos themselves, and Kaylee's really good at doing all the other stuff. So I'm really lucky to have her to be my whatever you want to call it.
and
Your better half.
And both of you work also during on top of it, right?
Yeah. So this is just YouTube is extra to, you know, our normal life, really. I mean, we work full-time jobs, and YouTube is just something that we do on top of it.
Right. Now you've had a really good year hunting this year. I've been, you know, with everything that you got, but you can't say that the year was good until you started it out with September 6th, right?
Yeah, we got married, and it was really the start of an unbelievable fall. You know, it was crazy to say the least. And
now Kaylee can say that her name rhymes, right?
Yes, it does. Like, what's your name? I said, you know, Kaylee Bailey, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. So it's always comical, but yeah, it was definitely a good start to our fall.
And what was that in the wedding vows? Something about pigeon?
Oh my goodness, yeah. So Clifford had gone pigeon hunting, of course, you know, that's in our videos and stuff. And he came home one day and he's like, oh, I'm going to cook dinner today. So I said, okay, this ought to be good. And so he had, you know, deep fried the pigeon just like chicken tenders. Well, I was very skeptical to try it. And so he's like, just try it. It tastes like chicken. So I gave it an honest try with barbecue sauce, just like a chicken nugget. Well, in my personal opinion, it did not taste like chicken.
It was fantastic.
I even had to make the wedding vows that I will be brutally honest with you forever and always, even if your food tastes not even close to chicken.
So how did the two of you meet?
So we actually met back in high school one time at a bonfire, and then I obviously left for the service right after I graduated, and I spent 4 years in the Army. And then when I got back, I sent her a message, and that's pretty much how it all went.
Yeah, we live, or now obviously we live in the same town, but when we were growing up, we went to neighboring high schools. So it was always kind of, oh, I know him, I know her type of thing. And then we kind of waited till I was out of college and he was done traveling the world to settle down a little.
She had her eye on me from the start.
Yeah, something like that.
So Kaylee, were you hunting before you met him, or was it something that you took up after you guys got together?
I hunted spring turkey a lot with my dad, but in high school I was really big into sports. I played basketball and a bunch of travel leagues. So as far as like the winter sports go, I didn't have any time hunting. And to be brutally honest, I cannot stand the cold. So I didn't hunt deer or anything until we started dating, and Clifford had built some really nice, as you've seen, hunting shanties that have heaters and keep me nice and warm. So before I pretty much only turkey hunted.
He doesn't do that for me.
I told him, if you want me to do it with you, I have to stay warm. So after archery season, you'll find me in a heated shanty. always.
That's why I like archery hunting.
It's the same way. Judy didn't hunt before she met me, and then she started hunting.
And then he doesn't let me kill any of the deer. He just, he walks out of the woods and they just die in front of him. And I'm out there for hours and hours and I don't see anything.
That's just the way it goes, I guess. So how's your trapping season been going? Are you pretty much done with it now because of all the snow?
Yeah, I pulled all my traps right when we got that last big blast of snow, and we really haven't lost the snow since. I set a bunch of coyote and fox dirt hole sets, and as soon as they get snowed on, you can fight it for a few days, but then you have your trap freezing up on you. And I actually missed a coyote. I don't know if you watched that video, but I had a coyote work one of my sets and stomped all over it, and I missed it, which was really frustrating. But yeah, I pulled all my sets. But I had a good year. I caught some fox, and I never ended up catching a coyote, but I shot one. So
right.
I think that's cool that they let you check your traps with the drone.
Yeah.
You think they wouldn't let you with, just all the rules and regulations on drones and stuff.
Yeah. I have, when I started doing that, I had people comment on YouTube, obviously, it's illegal, this, that, and everything else. So I contacted the game commission, and I asked them, is it legal for me to check my traps with a drone on our own property, as long as everything's within sight and the drone's a legal drone? Yeah, it's totally legal. You can't do it on private property or that you don't have permission on, obviously, or any state game lands. But as long as it's your own property, you're fine.
Well, we can say hello to a few people here coming in. You got Tubby Guy Outdoors. Thank you for coming in.
Alan and Rose from RV Field Trip. Ema Matters came in. Sue from Lucky Dog Productions. And traveling on.
I think we had got that before, but we got him again if we did.
Oops. Okay.
So, do you do very much for scoring the deer that you get, or is it kind of something that I've always been the kind of person I do the European mount, so I've got skulls all over the place, and somebody said, "What did that score?" I said, "It looks pretty big, doesn't it?"
Yeah.
Goes for
some of the real nice ones that we kill. I always get professionally scored, by somebody that's licensed, just so I know, just for myself. But honestly, it's really not that big a deal to me, as long as it's if you're proud of the deer,
right.
That's what it's all about. We have the ability on our farm to really be really selective. We have a lot of landowners that own property that border ours that are very selective, which means that we have the ability to be selective. So it results in us killing some really nice deer, year after year, which is really fortunate.
Well, you've also put in an awful lot of sweat equity and a lot of money, lots and all of that to keep the animals fed. Even the animals that you're not going to be hunting, they got a food source to eat, all winter long to keep them.
Absolutely. Kaylee and I both work really hard at it, in the off season to maintain the habitat that deer like. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. They think we just go out here and shoot these deer and, that's that. But it's really an all year long thing. We really work hard, like you said, and put a lot of money and effort into our deer hunting. So there's a lot more to it than people realize.
Yeah, Tubby Guy said every harvest is a trophy. Exactly. Every harvest feeds the families. That's what we're all about.
Right.
Carl's got a really nice buck as his picture on there.
Yeah,
they're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wow.
You and Kaylee are going to be the next hunting power couple, the next Tiffany and Lee.
I don't know about that, but we have an awful lot of fun doing what we do. That's for sure.
They've got a lot better genetics out that way. A deer that's 5 to 7 years old here is nothing. Is basically a deer that's 3 or 4 there.
Absolutely.
So, So it's a completely different animal that you're shooting, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
If you got, if there was any type of hunt that you'd like to do that you can't do right there on your property, what was one thing that you'd like to go and hunt?
Elk hunting for sure. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say elk. Only because I want to see the terrain out west really bad. So going on an elk hunt, to see the land out there would be phenomenal. And my sister actually was able to harvest a really nice elk, so I'm a little envious of that.
The elk, I worked on a farm that had elk, so I spent an awful lot of time with elk and got run up against fences by them and everything else. I wasn't really all that but the one thing that I wanted to do before I couldn't was to go moose hunting, and so I was able to do that with my bow. We went up to Maine, and
is that the moose that's above you?
Yeah. Yep, that one.
Awesome.
He's gonna mess up the camera.
It's going to be partially in the view now anyway, no matter what she does.
I think you should move it down, Ron, so it's right over your head, so it looks like you have moose antlers.
Like Disney
Now
ears?
you got us out of focus, but it'll focus here in a second. But
See, there you go. Whatever.
now we look drunk. But now you got you started this year. Was this the first year that you went hunting in Ohio, or have you hunted up there before?
I've turkey hunted in Ohio in the past, but this is the first year I've ever deer hunted out there, and it was quite an experience getting the opportunity to hunt out there. It ended up being more than I bargained for at first. I thought I'd just be able to go out there, get a tag, and go hunting. Well, the specific area that I got permission to hunt, there's a lot more to it, and it ended up taking me quite a while to finally get in a tree. But man, I had a lot of fun, and there's some absolutely huge deer in the area that I was hunting, so it was fun just knowing that those deer were there.
I'm trying to get that camera to focus.
Yeah.
I messed it up.
Path in the Woods. What county in PA do you hunt? They enjoy your channel.
In Ohio? Or
No,
PA, they ask.
Oh, I see the question. It's Erie County.
Erie County. Now, you live right pretty much on the border, so you can hunt both states in the same day if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I could actually take my rifle right out back and just walk straight south and end up hunting Pennsylvania. So I'm pretty close.
Evergreen Homestead says, "Hi, I'm new here. What's going on? Who is everybody?" So you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit to them? And
Yes, I'm Clifford Bailey, and this is my wife, Kaylee Bailey, and we have a YouTube channel called KEO Vlogs. Just all kinds of outdoor stuff, hunting, trapping, random stuff. I don't know.
anything to do with the outdoors is pretty much what we cover.
Yeah. Or if you want to watch Kaylee smoke a deer with my truck on a dash cam, that's on there too.
Just had to slide that in there, huh?
He just always throws you under the bus, doesn't he?
It rolls me right over.
One of the best videos I saw though was when you almost got the bear when the bear ran across the road. And
Oh, God.
the face that she made then was.
Yeah, that was something. We were not expecting that at all. Kaylee's reaction was the best when we came home and watched the video. That was
Yeah.
that was funny.
What was I going to say here? I was going to say something here and I lost my place. Which place is your favorite place to hunt?
Right here on our farm would definitely be my favorite.
And I noticed that you're starting to use the recurve an awful lot, getting used to that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've got a few that you've got with that. And
yep. I've shot a few doe with it, and I had unbelievable heartbreaker this year with it in Pennsylvania. I had a really nice buck at like 7 yards, and I just, with that recurve, it's so loud when it goes off, the deer really duck hard. And I'm always just accustomed to holding a little low with it. It's all instinctive shooting. I don't aim at all. And I shot, and it just hit. I mean, I missed the heart by maybe an inch, and I hit low, and I ended up tracking it with my buddies really long ways, and the deer bedded down a few times, and we never ended up finding it. And I'm still just so sick to my stomach about it, because we never saw the deer again. I mean, the whole season, we never got any pictures of it. No one ever seen it again. So I'm really sick. I think that it did kill the deer. So it's really unfortunate. And it's really nobody else to blame other than me. I made a bad shot.
No.
It's a real bummer.
The very first deer that I got with a bow, I got when I was 14, and that was with a bear recurve bow.
Wow. That's awesome.
And the thing was only 5 feet away from me, so I really couldn't miss. but that was the first deer that I ever got with a bow, was that. And I'm really happy to say that I've harvested a deer with every legal thing that you can hunt with in New York State. I have a long bow. I've got a deer with a long bow, with the recurve, with the compound, and I had to go out and spend all kinds of money and get a crossbow and get one with
excuses. I haven't gotten one with this, so I have to go out and buy it.
Well, that's a real accomplishment. To not many people can say they've done that. Very, very few people, especially around my age at this point, have ever even shot a recurve, let alone killed a deer with one. So that's a real accomplishment.
Yeah, we're old.
Well, people my age, recurves were the bows. It was like, wow, look at this. You got a compound bow. It's got all kinds of pulleys on it. Just imagine that. Yeah, look at it. It's got a 25% let off. That's amazing.
Yeah, the technology has really changed over the years.
I want to talk.
Chris says he's 71, but he's learned a lot from your hunting videos. You were the best.
Thanks, Chris. We really appreciate you watching.
And Carl's off the grid. Are there any tips you can give us about camera setup or camera placement when you're hunting?
Yeah, so I use Canon HFR 700, or no, AX 700, and I always set it so the screen opens to the right. So I always make sure it's on my right side so I can move it on the tree on this side, so the screen's always right in my face. And it's kind of hard because I actually shoot left-handed, so it's actually like if I'm bow hunting, I have the screen over here to my right, which is kind of backward. It'd be kind of nicer if I was right-handed and had it the other way, but it works out good. You just got to make sure that no matter what, the camera's always in a spot that you can use it and access it and manipulate it. You don't want it off your, behind you or to a side that you can't get a good grip on it. The best thing you can do is take someone like Kaylee with you to run it.
Yeah, it's a lot easier with two people on a hunt, that's for sure.
Kaylee, when you started doing the videoing and stuff, I know that it's hard for me to talk to a camera, especially because I kind of talk to the camera like, who am I talking to? Did you have the same type of problem, or is it just?
Oh yes, it was a problem for a couple of years, honestly. Anytime another problem too is people forget Clifford's behind the camera making all kinds of goofy faces and making me feel just terribly awkward as it is. And so it took probably actually like 1.5 to 2 years for me to really get comfortable. I started doing just some of our odds and ends of, product reviews. And then I started throwing in different hunts and stuff that I've done, which that to me is a lot easier just doing it on my own. I don't feel as awkward. And then Clifford's not there to make goofy comments or faces or anything like that. So.
Lucky dog Sue, he's actually in New York, in Chautauqua County, New York, but he's right on the border of Pennsylvania. So he hunts in Erie County, Pennsylvania. and he does hunt in Ohio, but it's not Erie County, Ohio.
It's Lake County, Ohio is where I hunt in Ohio.
And she said her daughter's from Vermilion. So, what was I going to say? I get sidetracked. I start reading stuff, and
It's all on you.
it's all on me. Now, how high do you put your tree stands? Have you noticed that you've gone higher with them since you started filming, or are you keeping them pretty much a set?
I honestly keep my stands really low. I don't like being that high, and I actually put my stands low enough where if I think if I were to fall out, I don't want to get, deathly hurt. I don't want to be 16 feet up in a tree. I'd rather be like 10 or 8 if I can get away with it. Just my preference. I know a lot of guys really like getting up high. Not me. I like staying pretty low to the ground.
All of ours are 10 to 12 feet is about our maximum going.
I don't like being high in the air either.
Of course,
I don't like,
I'm 6 feet tall too, and I'm not a little person, so you fall and it's gonna hurt.
I'm really not a fan of those little hang-on either with a seat like this big. I'd rather be comfortable and feel safe. I don't like, a nice ladder stand with a big seat and a big platform. Perfect.
well,
Even better when it has heat and walls and everything else.
yeah, the big seat's something that I need since I've gotten.
Now you see people like the hunting public, hanging from a rope on the side of a tree.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah. I wouldn't find enjoyment in that.
Now we can ask you a couple of questions about the YouTube stuff. I know. Can you tell us some of the good points that you've learned from YouTube and what the bad parts of YouTube are?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I could tell you a lot more bad than good, but
Well, while you're thinking, as far as YouTube itself goes, I think definitely a positive thing is it has been able to connect us to a lot of supportive people.
Yeah.
Obviously we do have negative comments, but the amount of people that we've met through YouTube, just like various emails and various messages or, comments even to support of people in the country, when especially in a time like right now where you truly don't think there's a lot of good left, we get a lot of very, very nice comments and messages, just, thanking us for doing what we do with the videos. And it's just something that we enjoy doing, but to know that we're doing something that we enjoy, but we also bring so much enjoyment to other people, it's so rewarding. You can't even express it, really.
It's amazing. If you sit down and watch the news, you think like everything's so terrible and everybody's so bad, but there really is a lot of really, really good people out there, and you see that through YouTube.
It's kind of the same way in the RV community, and we've gone into the homesteading community, and they've all started to kind of intertwine and stuff like that. So we're meeting great people from all over the country. So when we get out and travel, we can start, hanging out with them, and
it's great.
I was going to ask about bad comments and how when they first started getting bad comments, what you felt as far as, did you really take it hard when they first started coming in, or were you able to let them roll off of you?
I'm pretty bulletproof, to be honest with you. I don't even delete the comments. What people say is what they feel, and in this country, you have the right to say and feel how you feel. So, luckily, like Kaylee said, we have so much support. If there is a really nasty or negative comment, they make a mistake by doing it because there's so many people that'll
jump on them.
So, that's something that I will say to people that are just starting YouTube channels. As you get bigger, the less and less that happens. You think that it would be the opposite. You think you would get more nasty comments the bigger you get. But really, when you're smaller, people think you're more I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but
vulnerable, maybe.
You're more vulnerable, pretty much.
They think that their comments are going to affect you, and so that's why they do it.
Exactly. So really, and no matter what, it's really with anything in life, you're always going to get negativity, and especially if you're successful in something, people will be jealous and you know, come after you in that sense. But overall, there's a lot more good than bad, and you know, I don't let them bother me at all. You?
At first I did. I took things a little personal just because, I don't know, being a girl in that community, it feels like there's a lot more pressure to do, you know, successful things and to be successful in a hunt and to do things to do everything right. And there was a couple of the first hunts that I was in videos and like just really nasty comments or, you know, really bad reviews on things. And I'm like, I never want to be in a video again. Just take them all down. But I mean, like Cliff said, as you keep going, there's just so much, you know, to be said with power and numbers, and people are just so supportive now. So it's worth it.
I know bad comments. I know already that I'm an old fat guy, so I don't have to worry about those comments.
We don't think that.
Ales Outdoors from West said hello from West Virginia.
They love you.
They love you guys.
Hi.
And
like Carl says, the more audience participation, the more YouTube likes it. Even if it's a negative comment, it's still a comment.
Yep. You're right. You're right.
He gangs up on them, and it's even more comments.
Yep, exactly.
Close that one right there.
And some of the negatives with YouTube have really just been YouTube itself and the policies that YouTube has come up with over the past few years. When we first started YouTube, you know, when we got monetized, you never ever got demonetized on a video. And there's this huge push like 2 years ago where, you know, if you had a gun or any type of dead animal, blood, anything like that, they pretty much wiped you clean. And our channel was on the fritz for like 5 months because we had got 2 strikes for shooting a few woodchucks. And YouTube actually gave our channel strikes. And if you guys really know anything about that, once you get the 3rd one, you're out pretty much. Your channel goes away. So we were on probation and trying to keep things really clean for a while. And so in that case, we really couldn't do what we wanted. We were scared to post a video of a gun. To show a gun. We were scared to post videos of shooting woodchuck. You know what we are and what, you know, our community was pretty much under attack at the time. A lot of channels actually disappeared, just like ours,
right.
And they're gone. I mean,
yeah, there's no coming back from that. Once you've been wiped out, I mean, all of your videos are gone, all of your content is gone, and they don't even have to give you a warning. It's just gone.
And we would obviously, what's it called when you
review them?
No, when you send it back and you tell them that, you know,
Appeal it.
Yeah, we appeal it. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. We would appeal their decisions and stuff, and we get this automated response, and then Kaylee would usually write up this elaborate, you know, message, and then we'd finally get in touch with somebody and look and say, you know, we're abiding by all these policies and whatever. And it was pretty much just their opinion. And that, you know, they would say, well, this isn't right. And I'm like, well, it's not right to you, but this is how we live. You know, it's.
She's got to go. Her mom, or up there, her mom just gave her a call. Called for her, so she's got to go. Probably to move the cat so she can go to the bathroom. But everything is.
They can go into Patreon. While they around
now, one way that you got around that type of stuff was going into Patreon and doing it that way, where your videos weren't as scrutinized or weren't censored the way they are on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we were really fortunate. We knew at that point when we were getting those strikes, we knew, you know, any day we could wake up and our YouTube channel would be gone. So we had to come up with an alternative way to not only have a place that our subscribers and viewers could see our videos and continue to watch our content, but actually hold our videos. So not only if they, you know, up and deleted the channel, we'd still have a platform that still had our videos on it. So we really needed that backup plan in place in case it happened. You know, luckily, we were on the straight and narrow for a while, and the strikes went away, and
so you started shooting woodchucks again, and
yeah, I'm still a little nervous about what I show and what I don't. I try to be a lot more careful, even though it's really that's bullcrap, because it's just whatever they deem is, not right for YouTube, which could be anything,
Right.
Yeah,
Make a decision.
Yeah, their policy, I actually went through their entire, pretty much their bylaws, and their policy, they leave so much room for human interpretation. It was very loose policy. So it was, anything that was demeaning or graphic, and they never once tell you what the word graphic means. They don't, spell it out in black and white and say showing blood is wrong. It's just any graphic content or any aggressive content or any sexual content. And like a couple of those appeals that we had, because initially they sent it through a computer screen. So like a computer through the algorithms and everything is what's screening these videos. And so when we would email them and say, I want someone human to watch this video and tell me at what timestamp was this video, unfit for YouTube. And a couple of times, they'd send us back, and then we'd understand it a little bit better as we go. So
yeah, Steve from RV Adventure says that sounds like Twitter and a guy that I know.
He's probably talking about Louder with Crowder.
I was going to ask you too, as far as setting up the Patreon, was that a hard thing to do, or was it just something that, you're looking over, come on, Kaylee, tell me what's going, tell me how hard it was to set that up.
So I kind of headed that. As far as getting signed up with Patreon, it's a very easy platform. There are times on the user end that there are some issues depending upon what type of phone, people have, or if they're trying to log in through a computer rather than a smartphone. But as far as the platform itself, it's very user friendly. The people that own Patreon, they pretty much tell you this is your platform to post your videos. There's no restrictions on the content. Of course, it cannot be, sexual in nature, anything like that, or promoting aggression in any way, shape, or form. But other than that, you can post any kind of content. There's a ton of different hunting accounts on there. Just a lot of random content videos. So, if anybody was looking for a secondary platform, I would definitely promote Patreon, just because it's been so nice for us. And the way you set it up, it's actually you can set it up in a tier system. You could set it up for, one single payment plan, or however you choose to do it. It's totally up to the owner of that content. So that's really nice.
Oh yeah. Now the other type of thing you, as far as we get into like your product reviews and all of that, do you reach out to these companies, or are those companies reaching out to you as far as some of the products that you review?
No. So pretty much what happens with that is these companies actually reach out to us, and pretty much they'll say, we have this product, and this product. Would any of these align with the people that watch your videos, in other words? And a lot of times they're like flashlights, or trail cameras is a really big one that we get a lot of reviews with. And I'll say, yeah, this trail camera would be one that I think a lot of my viewers would be interested in. And then they'll just say, okay, we'll send you a trail camera, and if you'll, in return, do a review for me. So that's pretty much how it works.
Mm-hmm. So you pretty much get the merchandise for nothing, just for doing the review type of thing.
Yep.
And then sometimes too, it's nice because they'll give us like a discount code for our viewers. So I know a lot of our viewers have bought in like trail cameras or some of the product that we have reviewed at a discounted rate. So that's another pro for that as well.
Now, before we started the video or doing this tonight, I got an awful lot of questions that I haven't seen them come into the chat at all yet, but a lot of people wanted to talk about the 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah.
I understand. I know that it's a really flat shooting gun and all of that, and I've seen a lot of videos and stuff about it. But what's your opinions on that? I know
there's a lot of people that have really strong opinions both ways. A lot of people will say, well, you know, it's really not much more than a 30-06 or this, that, or whatever. Honestly, I really enjoy the cartridge because it's a really light kicking round that shoots really flat, and it hits deer like hard. I mean, I've been really enjoying it. Kaylee's actually shot more deer with a 6.5 than I have, and you never miss with it.
No, I love that gun.
It's been a great gun.
Now, do you think that gun would work for anything bigger than a deer, or do you think that?
Yeah,
I've watched some people shoot some mule deer, and I've heard of people shooting elk with them, but I didn't know if it was something that you thought that, you know, some people are saying that it's not big enough to go, you know, stepping up in the size of the game that you hunt.
Yeah, I have read a lot online about people saying that, you know, you should never take that round elk hunting and, you know, big game hunting in general. I'm under the opinion that placement of the shot, no matter what, is what's going to put that animal on the ground. So if you take a 6.5 Creedmoor and stick it right behind an elk shoulder, the elk's done. And in my own personal opinion, I'm going to take whatever gun I can shoot most accurately with out to the longest distance. So if that's a 6.5 Creedmoor, I'm taking a 6.5 Creedmoor elk hunting with me.
Right. Now, you got your first deer with a pistol this year also?
Yep, I did, with a 500 S&W. That was cool.
Now that probably kicks a little bit harder than the 6.5.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, my ears rang for a week after that morning. Talk about loud. Holy cow.
Now, I've got 3 deer with a pistol, and all of them are with a 45 ACP, which that's not everybody tells me that's not a round to be hunting with, but you get them enough and you shoot them right. My
grandpa actually is one of my hunting videos this year. There is a big argument in the comment section below about exactly what we're talking about, the 6.5 Creedmoor and what rounds are you should use for deer and shouldn't use for deer. And my grandfather made a good comment. He said, you know, before I go deer hunting tomorrow morning, I'm going to put a coffee cup on the table and I'm going to put a whole bunch of different rounds in there. I'm going to pick one and I'm going deer hunting. It doesn't matter if you put it in the right spot.
That's right. Now, other than elk, are you planning on doing any other type of hunting at all, or?
I would like to shoot a moose someday. I don't have any plans to as of right now, but
I know a guy, but it's expensive.
Yeah, maybe someday. We'll see.
But yeah, as far as the meat, do you guys eat all of the deer, or do you donate any of it? Or
we usually cut up and eat 2 or 3 of them, as much as our freezer can hold, and then the rest of them we donate. We take it to the meat processor, and then they have a really cool program where they donate it to the soup kitchen, and then they make it into different. Our dogs are having a little issue over here. They make it into all kinds of stuff at the soup kitchen. So we actually donate the majority of our meat.
Yeah, we deal with. I shoot. I fill all my tags every year, but we usually end up with 2 or 3 of them of our own, and we end up donating to my kids' freezers and
anybody in the area that might need it.
You know, people that there are people who will actually say, "Hey, I'm really having a hard time," and we help fill their freezers also. So that's
great.
But I think that's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand, that people that are hunting out there are actually do care about their community, and they are willing to help in any way possible, and helping that get them food is one way that they can help.
Absolutely. The hunter does more for community and the outdoors and the woods in general than anybody. And
People don't understand how much money goes towards conservation of animals from everything we buy.
Absolutely. You're right.
On the Move wants to know, how many tags do you guys get where you hunt?
Well,
They're down in South Carolina.
And and as far as I'm concerned, we actually get too many, but I'll let you go ahead and answer what you get for.
So each individual gets one buck tag with a bow or muzzleloader, and then you get a buck tag with a rifle, and you can get up to 5 doe tags. So you can get 3 doe tags when you put in for them, and then you get 2 of them signed over. So altogether, you can shoot 7 deer legally in New York.
And then, of course, you're also hunting in Pennsylvania, so you can. The tags you can only get 1 buck down there in Pennsylvania.
1 buck and a doe in Pennsylvania.
Right. So that's up here.
Amazing how different rules are everywhere. It's just
right.
how you keep them straight.
Now, in the county in Pennsylvania that you hunt in, do they have an antler restriction, or is it?
Yes, they do. You have to have 3 up.
3 on one side, or
3 up. So actually, if they have a brow tine, it'd be 4, but you have to have 3, up.
Right.
I don't know how else to explain it.
3 up.
Yeah.
So they used to have unlimited bucks and 4 does. Now we are at 5 bucks and 6 does.
In South
Holy
Carolina.
cow.
And I believe on the Move that down there in South Carolina, you can shoot a buck every. You can't get 2 bucks in the same day, but you can hunt every day and get one at 5 days in a row. If that was, am I right with that? I asked them, and it's going to take them a little bit to answer us. But yeah, the one thing that I want to do is to go down south and go do some wild boar hunting. Just it's something that I've thought about doing, and it's been kind of strange because it's out. You hear how they're the scourge of the earth, and they're destroying everything. You're like, oh really? Well, I can come down and help you with that. Well, it's at $500 a day and stuff like that. We'll let you get and hunt on our property. It's like, well, I guess we're not as bad off as what.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
There's actually a place in Georgia that lets you hunt. I don't know, was it on the Army base or something? But they let you hunt. If you're a veteran, they let you hunt there for free.
Right.
You can come down and pig hunt.
On the Move said that there are 3 bucks any size and 2 that have antler restrictions.
And then it says 2 bucks in a day.
2 bucks.
Wow.
And 2 does on a day, but only 2 total deer per day. Nothing that it says, husband used to hunt wild boar. The meat isn't that good. I should want the deer.
In my honest opinion.
You should have a moose. Moose is so much better than even deer.
Nothing edited. You could tell your husband, that no matter what, I'm always going to be honest with you, that wild boar doesn't taste very good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Our deer population was over 1 million, and now we're down to 750,000 in South Carolina.
Interesting.
New York State has got a very big deer herd, and it's actually surprisingly healthy for as big as it is. I work in the city of Buffalo every day, and the city deer are absolutely amazing. I mean, the deer that you see in there, you're talking 200 class deer that are walking around through people's backyards.
Wow.
Jeez.
Cemetery. We have a cemetery in the middle of the city, and they're
Yeah.
Wow.
But Doug Weiser says elk is also really good. And I've caribou is amazingly good too. I mean, it's surprising. I'd have to say that my favorite is moose. The moose taste it's got a little bit different taste to it. It's sweeter, and then caribou would be second, and then I'd get into the venison. The deer meat. Now, as far as the trapping goes, do you I know that you do fisher trapping. I don't know the regulations very well, but there's getting to be so many fisher around now. You never used to see them at all, and now they're walking in our yards and stuff like that too. So
yeah, New York State needs to do something about that fisher trapping season. Right now, it's October 1st to October 5th, and it's just not enough time, and it's not the right time of year to be doing it. They need to move the season, back farther. December would be a great time. It's the problem with it in October is the fisher aren't hungry. They're not out seeking food. They can kind of get it anywhere at that time. It's later on that they're really hungry and they're seeking food. And you're right. I mean, our property is littered with fishers, tons of them. They're everywhere. I mean, I can't go bow hunting or hunting without seeing a fisher run by. And I think they've been a big detriment to our turkey population, and I think the Game Commission needs to open up the season a lot longer on fisher.
Papa Drew said that he went deer hunting with a tank in the Marines. The sergeant made him do it.
For people that might not know, can you tell them what a fisher is? Because a lot of people aren't aware of it. They just think they're cats.
Yeah. Fisher's just like a big cat with a long tail. I don't know how.
It's kind of like a badger.
Right. I think
only nasty.
It's got a head. It's got a head similar to a fox or something like that, but
similar.
It's got a weasel type body with a head like a fox, and they're meaner than sin.
Oh yeah, they're nasty buggers.
And when you were talking about the turkey population, there were woods that I turkey hunted, and it would be you go walking towards the woods in the springtime, and it was just gobble after gobble after gobble. And ever since the fishers came about, it takes forever for you to locate birds anymore. You don't see them in the fields. It's crazy.
We've experienced the same thing in our area. I mean, I've seen a decrease in the turkey population every year that I've been hunting since in high school, and it's really making me nervous. I hope that they rebound and come back, but it doesn't look good.
Our cat started scratching on the thing up there. I'm like, what the heck is that? But yeah, the other thing I was going to say is that you've done a lot of goose and duck hunting. I enjoy those videos as well. You got quite the call band full of bands from the geese there.
Yeah.
Like, how's he even get that call up to use it? He's got so much weight hanging around his neck.
Yeah, we're fortunate right here in our area where we hunt. We have banding locations all around us. They band at Chautauqua Lake. They band at Finley Lake. They band at Pymatuning. They band in Erie. We're literally surrounded by banding stations where they band these geese in the summer. So this is funny. We actually shot into a flock of geese one time. It was in September, and we killed like 15 geese out of this one flock, and 14 of them were banded. So you see how your lanyard fills up pretty quick when you have entire flocks of geese that are banded.
So did you make a wedding engagement ring out of those? Or?
No,
you did not.
No. As far as I know that you got married in September, so I know that your wedding was very socially distant. Watching the video, I was like, yeah, I can see that. I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, our wedding plans, we were supposed to have it at a venue over in Finley Lake, and then of course COVID happened. So I think we had 51 days, I think, until like our actual wedding date, and we ended up canceling all of our plans. And actually, we got married right behind our house in the woods. And then his grandparents they own a farm right across the road, so we had our reception in one of their storage buildings. So it worked out perfect, but we did everything by our own rules.
We don't recommend trying to get married during a pandemic.
No. That was a lot of stress.
Well, we've been engaged for almost 10 years, going on 11 years now. So
don't want to rush into anything,
Well, I don't blame you after the stress that I went through planning that thing. Oh,
I haven't tasted the pigeon yet, so it's
it's a rite of passage.
It's not bad.
Els Outdoors says it was a fantastic wedding video.
She's everything that I've hunted and I brought it in, and she's actually tried it, but she will not try squirrel. I can't get her to try squirrel at all.
Nope, thanks. So where do you guys see the direction of your channel heading in the future?
Well, hopefully up.
Trying to grow it as big as you can, and
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, we're definitely, very fortunate the way it's grown. So
Yeah, we had a really, really good year. I mean, this year it really took off. We've had the channel. It's done good in years past, but it wasn't until this year that it hit another level, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
do you guys see yourself going on any of the newer platforms that are coming out?
I would say it would kind of depend on where YouTube takes its policies. I mean, right now we have such a good following on YouTube that I personally wouldn't want to just abandon all of our followers and say, hey, we're leaving by YouTube. You got to go over to this platform and watch us on that. But it would just depend on where YouTube takes itself. So
Now, how many subscribers do you have now?
42,000.
yeah, something like that, between 40 and 50,000.
And what's your average type of views that you get on a video?
The hunting videos average right around 8,000 to 10,000 views, and the reviews like 2,000 maybe.
Yeah. It just kind of depends on the video, honestly.
Right.
The reviews really are just kind of fillers to keep everybody updated, and with the way YouTube works, you really don't want your channel to go dry for a long period of time. So if we don't have content to put up, it's a good time to kind of fill it in with those reviews just to keep the channel active and keep YouTube's algorithms
spinning
going.
And during hunting season, you're putting out like every other day or so that there's videos coming out.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, my typical day during hunting season is I wake up, I try to hunt, I go to work, I zoom home, I grab some snacks, I go hunt, come home, eat dinner, take a shower, edit, go to bed. And that's every day. And Kaylee gets kind of sick of it.
Well, during obviously COVID and everything, his work schedule this year was so drastically different than any years past. So he was able to hunt a lot this year just, because he was working from home. I was a little bitter, just to be honest. I was working every day, but it helped, the YouTube channel drastically. I think that's one of the biggest reasons this year is because we were putting out so many videos with him hunting usually twice a day. I would hunt maybe 3 times a week. So we were putting out 10 videos sometimes a week.
And one of the important things, and I think one of the reasons a lot of people really enjoy our channel is I get it out as fast as, I want it to be as close to live as I can. So, I try to get the video from today up tonight or, first thing in the morning. I try to keep everybody engaged as to exactly how things are going. And I try to knock those videos out as fast as I possibly can.
Right. Instead of being a year behind when you're putting out hunting videos. This was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was yesterday is how it usually is for us.
A lot of the RV channels will have like a couple month delay because they don't want a whole bunch of people knowing where they're at.
Oh yeah.
So because they're traveling around, so they try to keep a little bit of a delay so that they're actually a couple of weeks to a month or so ahead.
Yep, that makes sense.
And with us not traveling this year, we've been
trying to find whatever we can do.
So we've got our channels a little bit of everything right at the moment.
Yeah.
The last couple of months, it's pets passing away, but it's a.
And on that somber note, we got about a minute here. Do you guys want to wrap it up with anything that you want to let everybody know, or what's going to be happening, or?
Well, we're just really happy that you guys invited us to come talk with you. It was kind of a cool experience.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like this before, so we really appreciate you guys sending us an invite to do this, and we'll have more videos coming soon. If anybody's never seen them, check them out. If you don't like them, sorry. We'll try better next time.
Everybody go over.
Leave
and
them a
watch
bad comment. Every guy.
Worst hunters I've ever seen.
Do you really call that hunting?
Oh man.
We appreciate you guys taking the time to come on here and do this with us.
You guys can hang on a little bit once we say goodbye to everybody, and we'll finish up after that. But if anybody wanted to, everybody's gonna probably be heading over to see Northwoods. Go to watch Northwoods live after us.
Hills Outdoor, wife and I love you guys. Take care.
Thanks, Al.
You all set?
Yeah, we're gonna let you guys go down. We're gonna say goodbye, and okay, everybody. Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you enjoyed the interview. I know I did. This is a channel that I've been watching ever since they started. I don't know why I got hooked onto it, probably because that they're local to us. And
it's hunting.
And it's hunting, and that's something that I enjoy an awful lot of. But you got to go and support those Western New Yorkers, I guess. But on that note,
We will see you guys all next
on
week.
the Muse on their way over to KEO.
Take care, guys.
Bye now.